Hi Aquarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and today I'm going to be doing a general reading for you for the first half of February 2024. So to get started, I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Light Seer's Tarot, and I want to see first of all where your energy is for the first part of the reading. So I want to see if you're facing some sort of a difficulty, a challenge in your life. You've kind of come to a place where maybe you're stuck, you're looking for some direction, just to get an overall view of your energy. In the second part of the reading, what I want to do is I want to see what's coming up from your shadow. So we're going to do a little bit of shadow work. Now, if you're new to shadow work and it's really something that maybe you've never heard of, or maybe you have heard a little bit about it and you're just not really sure what it is, I have a really good video for you. It's right here, and I'm going to link it down below. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide for Shadow Work. And it comes from my other channel called Carol Cares. And so in this video, I'm really going to give you sort of a general overview of how I've done shadow work, my own personal healing, really. And that's what shadow work is. It's just dealing with your stuff and looking at all those belief systems and all those things that people told you when you were younger, and you sort of held on to them, but you sort of press them down, you push them away, and they're sitting in your shadow in your unconscious. And there's also, a lot of emotions there that maybe you weren't allowed to feel. And they could be emotions that are connected to some trauma. When we all have trauma on a continuum. So that's your shadow. So that's what I want to look at. And it's going to be related to your situation that you're sitting in. And then once we look at your shadow and do a little bit of shadow work, I'm going to look at some guidance from the tarot. And besides the guidance from the tarot, I'm also going to suggest a video for you, or a couple of videos on something to do with like either emotions or journaling or grounding. And I'll get that also from my other channel, Carol Cares. So before I begin pulling cards, some of you might have already seen your 2024 yearly reading. It looks like this. And so what I did was, in that reading, I took 12 cards, for 1 card for each of the month. And so I kind of gave you an overview of each month with that card. And so what I've done for you, Aquarius, is I have pulled your card for February. And your card for February was the Page of Cups. And so let's just take a look at that for a second, and then I'll go into the reading. So, because that's going to be our overriding theme for us for February. So the Page of Cups, all my pages in my decks are my inner children. And that's how I look at them. I read them like they're your inner children. I call them children. Some people call it the inner child. It's a part of us. It's a very younger part of us, 4, 5, 6 years old. And because it's a cup, it's an inner child that's looking for love. And we all have that little part of us and I call it my love seeker. So it's that little part of us, that inner child that is looking for love. And a lot of times, as an adult, this little love seeker can show up a lot in our adult life when we become like people pleasing, or we get involved in relationships that are just not right for us. And, because we we continue to look for love in all the wrong places sometimes. And, your own patterns. And so this is this little love seeker that comes in. It's this inner part of us, our inner child, that really needs our attention. And when we do find that we get involved with these, relationships that we scratch our head and go like, why am I still, involved with this? Or why am I still with this person? Or why am I still a people pleaser? And a lot of times we realize that's where we need to get in touch with that inner child of us that needs our attention. And because it's still hurting. And the Page of Cups in reverse tells us that, tells me, for Aquarians out there, that it is definitely a part of you that you need to get in touch with this month, right? Because there really is a resistance to going inwards and getting in touch with that inner child. And I do that with my own journaling, where I talk to my inner child through my journaling. And that's how I do a lot of my healing, is through grounding and through journaling. So we'll keep that there as just an overriding card. And then I'm going to go to the Light Seer's Tarot, and I'm going to pull a card right now. One card, just to get, an idea of where your energy's sitting right now. So, I did do some shuffling before I came on. So let me ask the tarot for one card for Aquarians and where they're sitting right now with their energy, and as we begin this first part of February here. Just one card, please. Okay, so here we have the wheel in reverse. The wheel in reverse. Which is the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel in reverse. Now I'm going to ask for a card for your shadow. What's coming up in your shadow that needs to be healed? What's coming up in your shadow that needs to be healed? Just one card, please, from the tarot. And we have the Empress. The Empress. And finally, one card for guidance from the tarot. All right, we have one card in here that stayed out. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so let's clarify these three cards before I talk about them. We're going to clarify that with the Rider-Waite. So 3 cards, please, for the wheel for clarification. I'm just going to do them let's do a quick shuffle here. I didn't do that. Okay, so 3 cards for the wheel, please. Okay, you have the 5 of Wands. 2 more cards, please. And you have the 7 of Pentacles. And 1 more card. Ooh, it almost came out. It was the Fool card that almost came out. We have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so let's take a look at this Empress. Clarification for the Empress for shadow, for the shadow. Clarification. Seven of Cups. Three of Pentacles. One more card, please. And the 10 of Wands in reverse. And 3 cards for to clarify the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, we have the Devil in reverse. We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And 1 more card. The Page of Swords in reverse. So very interesting how I'm looking at, you You have the Page of Cups as your overriding energy here. And then you have the Page of Pentacles that has come out. You have the Page of Pentacles has come out twice. No, yes, the Page of Pentacles come out once for your energy, once for in reverse for guidance from the tarot, and then also you have the Page of Swords. So there seems to be a message here around getting in touch with your inner child in February for sure. All right, so let's begin. I want to begin with your energy. So we are starting off with the Wheel card, which is in reverse of the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel card for me is definitely, you know, if you look at this particular card, this woman has a set of die on her neck, and you know, and life is really about, you know, rolling dice and sometimes wondering, you know, I mean, we like to think that we can control certain things in our life, but the obvious answer is that we can't control everything. You know, life is going to keep spinning and things are going to happen. And the Wheel of Fortune usually talks about like a change of circumstance in your life. But this card has come in reverse. And so it seems to me that maybe you're feeling a bit like, sometimes we can sit and think, oh, what's happening? There's not much happening in my life. Or you kind of wonder, you know, what's going on with my life? You're searching for some meaning. And you just kind of feel like you're a little bit, I'm seeing that you're feeling a little bit stuck here because the wheel isn't turning. And I mean, we all know that life doesn't stop. And so things are happening, even though we think things aren't happening, the wheel is still turning. And sometimes we need to sit sort of in this quiet place, this stuck place for some things to happen that we're not really aware that they're going on behind us. And I'm also seeing here that, you know, because you're stuck and you're in a situation, when we get like that, when we're kind of in a position where you're not really sure, you know, maybe you're thinking about your life a bit and thinking about, you know, there's really no meaning in my life. And you can kind of get up in your head sometimes. And I see that with the first card that comes out, which is the Five of Wands. And that is the battle of egos. So this is a card where we can start to really compare ourselves to other people. And that's easy to do. You just have to get on social media, get onto your phone and start, you know, scrolling. And then you're going to see like everyone else out there that seems to be living their life and you're not. And that seems to be the situation where you're kind of starting to compare yourself to other people. And, well, look what they're doing and I'm not doing. And look at her, she looks happy. Or look at them, they look happy. And so maybe you're sitting in that kind of a situation. And because, you know, you're looking at this is the Seven of Pentacles, and Pentacles is all about our workspace. Pentacle is all about our health, our body, our self-worth, and how we feel about ourselves. And you really are looking at all these pentacles that are piled up. You know, maybe you've done well in your life. Maybe things have been okay. But you're just sitting there looking at it kind of going, you know, is this it? Is this what life is? So I can see you're really kind of in a reflective mood here where you're kind of looking at things going, is this it? Is this everything? And then the Page of Pentacles is coming up as this last card here, which is that younger part of us. It's a page. Like I said, it's a younger part of us, you know, 4, 5, 6 years old. It would be the page, a pentacle would be, like I said, it's about your body and becoming grounded and getting back in your body. Because if you think of the page and the age of the page would be around 4, 5, 6 year old. And, you know, a child is very grounded in their own body. And so this is what's coming up where this card is asking you to maybe take on that, to get more grounded into your body and to get more still into your body and become that child again that was very much in their body and could feel their emotions and it seems like it's asking you sort of to be in your body and be that child again, to get in touch with who you are, because it really seems like you're sitting in a really, you know, contemplative kind of energy, not, you know, looking for a bit of meaning. And yeah, and here's this younger part of you that's saying, well, maybe it's time to, you know, start to think about getting back in your body like a child would do, and start to feel and get in touch with some of those emotions and get in touch with your inner child and see what your inner child's feeling. So this is where, you know, you are right now with your energy. Now, to explain a bit about why you're there, we're going to look at sort of what's sitting in your shadow, what's sitting in your unconscious, what's coming up for you, maybe to heal, right? This channel is all about healing. And so we get the Empress, which is a beautiful, beautiful card. And I mean, you could see the Empress is a major arcana card, and she is the feminine aspect of us. And everyone has a feminine and a masculine part to them, even though a lot of people don't realize that. But we do. Every single person on this planet has a masculine and a feminine side. And so we have the qualities, the masculine and feminine qualities. And this particular Empress there are two cards in the major arcana that that represent the feminine aspect of ourselves. And that's the High Priestess. And the High Priestess, number 2 in the major arcana, is all about intuition, right? Getting back into your body and getting in touch with your inner guidance. This Empress is the part that loves emotions, the feminine part of us that loves the body, and she's very fertile and very, very in touch with her body. And so there is really, I'm hearing, you know, in your shadow, there's a very side, an emotional side to you that needs to be tapped into right now, because you're sitting in this position of, you know, kind of looking for some meaning, looking for some direction, contemplating life a little bit. And so because in your shadow, what here is there's some feelings here that need to be dealt with about. The first one is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups, you have this individual that's looking at all these cups on offer. And, you know, this is, and all these cups on offer have all these weird looking things that are coming out of them. And there's just so much on offer here, so many choices, so many ways, so many directions. And it sounds like for you, you're sitting in a place where you're just a bit overwhelmed about what you can do, and you have maybe lots of ideas and you're just not sure. And there's just so much out there to choose from, and you're not sure what direction to take. And also this creative card comes up. This Three of Pentacles come out. Another pentacle, which is about, you know, everything to do with our body. And the Three of Pentacles is one that is a very creative card. It's working with someone else. Maybe you're thinking about working on a project with someone else. It's also, I always look at it as a therapy card, getting some therapy sometimes, just to kind of help you out with where you want to go. Sort of a little idea of helping you out to get to know what sort of direction to take. Because what's very interesting coming up in your shadow as well for the last card is this individual that has these 10 of Wands. And, you know, wands are creative. They're creative energy. They speak about the direction that we want to take in our life. They speak about talking about taking a new direction, doing something for ourselves, putting ourselves first. And this particular individual is trying to take these creative wands that want to be set free, and he's trying to hold them down. He's trying to control it and trying to sort of repress it. And that's in reverse here. So I believe it came in reverse. And so what I'm seeing here is that, you know, you have a very creative aspect. You know, you had the creative card right here, number 3 Pentacles. And then you had it's also a collaboration card. And then you had all these wands that want to be set free. So there's very much, there's very much a, and this Empress is about creativity too. She would be about creativity. She would be about emotions, all that feminine aspect of ourselves. So there is really a call here for you to get in touch with your shadow, to go inwards and get in touch with, maybe there's an inner child. This seems to be like an inner child theme here, that a part of you that was very creative, that wants to create, that, maybe there was something that you did when you were younger, and it would have come out maybe. And sometimes what happens is we have certain gifts that come out, and for some reason or other they sort of get shunned, and we take them and we just repress them, and we push them away, and we hide them into our unconscious, because if we were told never to take these gifts out, never to show our creativity, not encouraged to do it, and discouraged, we're going to take it and we're just going to put it we're going to put it away and not take it out again. And so I'm seeing here that there's kind of a, and you have so many opportunities that are here. So it sounds like there are not just one gift that you have that's sitting in your shadow. It sounds like you have some gifts, a lot of gifts that are here for you to share with the world. And but they're really repressed here with these 10 of Wands. And if you look at the Empress, her stomach, it looks like she is often portrayed as being pregnant. I mean, she's pregnant with the world here. And there's just such a world of opportunities here that are wanting to be birthed into the world. And that's why the Empress is here for you, to let you know that in your shadow you have this creativity, these gifts that want to come out. A lot of people think that they're shadow when they do shadow work, and that's when you're healing a lot of your stuff, yes. But as you heal a lot of your, traumas, you heal a lot of maybe memories or your belief systems, you get in touch with your emotions, you get in touch with your inner child, you get in touch with, your grief and the shame that you've buried. You also find that once you start getting in touch with that and healing that and clearing that out, what happens is you start to get in touch with some of your beautiful gifts that are also buried in your shadow. And people don't realize that. People don't realize that you have beautiful gifts. One of the gifts that came to me, because when I started clearing out a lot of my own trauma, was the gift that I had to do tarot. And I didn't know I had it. 5 years ago, I didn't know what tarot was. So yeah, that's one of the gifts that's come to me. So it's just that you need to know that in your shadow, you have beautiful gifts that are waiting here to be birthed with this Empress. That's what it is. It's just waiting to come out. And so guidance from the tarot, and there is a reason, I think, why you're sitting in this position that you're sitting in right now, where you're kind of being contemplative, and you're kind of, because it's time to start thinking about, what else would you like to do? And, I always say to people, like, take one small step. And I know sometimes when you look at this 7 of Cups and you think, oh my God, I don't know which one to pick. I don't know what to do. You do one thing, and it's better to do something than nothing. You start to do one little thing for yourself. One little thing for yourself at a time. When we look at the guidance from the tarot, the Page of Pentacles comes up in reverse. And the Page of Pentacles, again, is that younger part of us that we talk about. It's the one where it's your body, it's getting back into your body, it's grounding yourself, being really grounded like a child, and that's in reverse. So that tells me that there is some resistance on your part to getting back into your body. And if we're not getting back into our body, it means we're living in our head, and everything we do is driven by the masculine part of us, which is our ego, right? But there's been a real call here for you in this reading to go inwards again and to get in touch with who you are, who you were. You know, at the heart of everything, who is it that was buried such a long time ago? And I see now that because you got the devil, the next card you got was the devil. And the devil can speak about our addictions. And, you know, there's so many different types of addictions out there. And basically, the reason why we have our addictions is to cover up our pain, right? To help us get through our pain. And yours came in reverse. And so I'm wondering if, you know, there's a couple things that this could be. This could be that maybe you realizing that, yeah, you do have some addictions that you really maybe want to get some help for. Or maybe it's in reverse because it's saying that, you know, yes, you really do have to look at your life and get help for some of your addictions. And then it can mean also that maybe you have had addictions and you're starting to get help for them, and you're starting to, you know, they're not as, don't have that powerful force anymore with you, and that's why they're in reverse. But I think there is really definitely something to do with looking at, you know, what sort of things are taking up a lot of your life. What sort of addictions do we have? Like, we can have addiction to running. We can have addiction to, obviously, watching TV. We can have addiction to eating. There's just so many. We can have an addiction to being on our phone, to Netflix. You know, there's so many things out there. And so I think there is a call from the tarot to take a look at that, because I think that's what's making you feel. And that's one of the reasons why you're having difficulty to get back into your body, is because of maybe these addictions, these attachments. Because your Eight of Swords here comes up, and the Eight of Swords means, you know, somebody that's just feeling all tied up in their head, because swords is all about mental activity, mental belief systems. And they're so tied up in their head because people have told them things about themselves, and this is what they believe, and this comes from our shadow, right? All these things that people have told us, and we believe them to be true, and they're not. They're not our truth. And this is in reverse. And so I'm wondering if you are starting to realize that this person that you thought was you, that you've been living all along, is really not you. It's almost like it's a lie. And, you know, here you are, you've been so stuck up in your head and feeling like you can't get free. And I think what's happening is that the tarot was saying, well, this person that you thought you were, this person that, you know, has felt so tied up in their head with all these belief systems about themselves, it's not you. And maybe you need to realize that this is not who you really are. And I even showed you that in your shadow, there's sitting this beautiful area here where you have these creative gifts that want to come out with this Ten of Wands here, but they're really being controlled and repressed and not wanting to come out. And probably because sometimes there's a lot of pain that we have to work through, a lot of emotions that we have to work through so we can get to it. And the last card is the Page of Swords that comes out in reverse. And the Page of Swords, again, is that younger child that knows who they are, right? Before they've been told all of these lies. And that's in reverse for you, because your younger child is really screaming at you to get in touch, for you to get in touch with them, because they've been told some things that aren't true. And this inner child right here has the truth for you. They know who you are. They remember who they are. You may not as an adult remember who you are, but this inner child does. And that inner child's going to take the sword and they're going to cut through the bullshit. All the bullshit that you've been told about yourself. So I think this is a real call, this reading, to take your life in a new direction, and to find out, who are you? Who are you? You know, what's sitting in your shadow? What gifts do you have that can start to come out, that you can start to show the world who you really are. You know, start to show the world who give birth to some of these gifts and who you really are. So this is a beautiful reading for you, Aquarius. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you right now. And a lot of times the oracle cards are just kind of validate what I say. And so we'll see what it's saying for you. And I'm going to take this from the Sacred Creator's Oracle. And I'll just take one card. Oh, there are two there. I find this deck is really stiff here. Just a minute. Okay, there's one that flipped up. So we're going to take that one. Yeah. Okay, this one's called The Spark of Hustle. The Spark of Hustle. So let's look at it. Number 17. The Spark of Hustle. You know when inspiration hits and totally immerses your senses in the possible? That is the spark of hustle at work. It's when every cell of your body hums with the desire to put something out into the world. I don't make this stuff up. But this is the Empress. And we talked about putting some gifts that you have out into the world. And when you feel that whoosh of energy that brings new ideas to life, the spark of hustle feels like a calling, a compelling, like something that cannot be ignored. This card is full of hope and expectation because it whispers, yes, it's coming. And yes, you can do this. Spirit is sending superstar blessings your way, along with a passion that has been divinely amplified. Look for projects and experiences that are full of excitement and joy, and say yes to opportunities that feel totally on purpose. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of your sacred task, remember that big soulful endeavors usually push us to go beyond the limits of what we know to be possible. This is how we grow. Use the spark of hustle to evolve and expand because it's your guiding star. What a beautiful card to end this reading. And yeah, you can't ignore it. You can try to keep down these wands. But you can't ignore it because you are being called to take a look, to go inwards, to get in touch with your inner child, to find out what they know. They have all the answers for you. They know their creative gifts, but they're hidden in your shadow, in your unconscious. So I'll talk to you again, Aquarius, in 2 weeks. Yeah, best of luck and see you soon. Bye-bye.